Do a little prep here. I apologize for last week not getting many videos out. I got pretty sick there at the beginning of the week and didn't do much trading at all. So I was trying to get over that. But anyways, we finally got that liquidation last week. We're still buying super mechanical levels. So this 4360 area is now held, 1 to 3 times on different opportunities of liquidation. Of course, that comes from what was a gap at one point. So that gap high is holding as, short-term support, which tells me, these participants that have been trading up here towards the all-time high haven't been shaken out of the market yet. They're still willing to buy that level. And until they get flushed, you should look for that continuation to happen. Now, we've come through it 3 times now and found it at an exacting location. So that tells me, it's not showing a lot of strength right now, and the odds are greatly increasing now for a stronger liquidation move. So of course we have Jackson Hole not today, this week, sorry. So you can look up the schedule if you feel free. You'll have Powell talking and the rest of the gang. So from here we should get a better idea on what's going to happen as far as tapering and whatnot, and how the market will respond to that. But with that being said, carry the fact that these 3 days where we've had some sort of liquidation have found, supported very, very exact level in the ES, and that is not showing overall strength in the market. Coming into today, it's pretty much the same thing over and over again, right? We find support here, then we get that, short covering rally day, which pushes the market higher. Then you tend to come into a gap day, and from here it generally turns into a balance day. That's at least been kind of the playbook as of now. It seems to be what they do each and every time. You get liquidation, you get some big rally, liquidation, big rally, so on and so forth. So kind of what I'd be watching for today as well is how we respond up here now that we've had a short covering rally. So effectively we've taken out old business and looking to re-enter new business on potentially the sell side. You have your all-time high, which is obviously just sitting up here, which we made off. Let me just move this line here quick, which we made off of, what was a pretty ridiculous day as far as it just went super trend out of what was a poor low at the time. So first and foremost, I want to monitor 64, right? What we do at 64 will make or break for the buyers, I think, especially today. I would look for that to be kind of the top of potentially a balance profile today. And likewise, how we respond around 44 area on the downside. As of right now, they've already came in and found support there in the Globex session with a poor low. But getting a liquidation from there, so getting rid of all these buyers that are buying above 44 right now, could potentially bring us down towards the afternoon pullback low from Friday at K period, which is around that 44.30 area. So for me, I don't plan on being long ES. I don't plan on being short ES. I think ES is not a great trading market today just based off where it is. But if we do push into 64 and find excess or find a poor reference, I will look to fade that back potentially towards 44. Likewise, if we break 44 and we either come back under it and retest 44 on the upside and fail, I'll look to sell with that for that K low from Friday being the target. Or if we look below 44, come back above and find support above it, I want to be long there for a potential 64 test. So those are the 3 trades I'll be watching for on ES today. See if they come in or not, right? The day time frame on ES, obviously that 60 area is going to play a little bit more important just because it is this trend line's underside, which doesn't always happen on the first touch type idea, but it is something to monitor. Like I've said many times, I'm not so much a trend trader. Trend line trader, but as mechanical as this market is, I think it's worth acknowledging. And then we move into the R2Y, right? And what's happened with R2Y, kind of the same thing, right? The biggest change that R2Y saw was the fact that we not only retested our 200-day, but we looked below our 200-day. Now, you have to scroll back a long ways to see the last time that we did this. And the last time we did this, we effectively traded below it, got a very poor reference, and then rallied from it and never really looked back from September last year up until now. So that's quite the time frame to be sitting above that 200-day. Now this balance up here has allowed the 200-day to catch up to the market. And now we kind of have all three of the moving averages that I watch, the 200, the 21, and the 50, all kind of closing in on each other. So they continue to lack a seller below this balance area. I think another opportunity for them to push towards the 50-day to see if they're going to find a buyer is there. But again, with Jackson Hole this week, there could be a lot of wrenches thrown into the market. So definitely keep your head on the swivel today, but not today, this week, actually, not just today. But, from an overall perspective, if we find support above 2160 today, I think you want to be on the long side of the market. And, this could just be a relief rally that you could sell. But I think that sell doesn't come until at least you test that 21-day moving average, which is just below the 2200 number. So a lot of confluence there coming into the market open this week. Now, when we take a look at the profile itself, this area here has been important to me. Pretty much 56 to 64. It's a broad area, but it's an area where the market has found pause and support and resistance. So it's kind of a good swing level for me. Very strong recovery. Friday is the strongest market other than maybe NQ, but exceptionally strong recovery. And then, of course, Globex opened above it and found early support. So now what's going to happen, once we get up towards this 2200 number, and more importantly, 02 to 10, which we've seen, over and over again, the market respond up there. Is how I want to trade R2Y today. So as long as we stay above 2160, I want to be on the long side of R2Y. I have no interest in selling it. I have no interest in being super short the market of the Russell until we find a significant seller somewhere down below here, which still has not happened. So really, I just want to be long, probably with the gap being a mechanical market as R2Y is. I want to be long with the gap today, with my target being 2202 to 2210 on the upside. So that's R2Y for today. Take a quick peek at NQ. Now, NQ is back above that upper trend line. We talked about Monday, if they were to break below this trend line, to make sure that your target was that purple line below. It happened to hit that purple line with the 50-day, some confluence there, and you got the rally, which is exactly what we saw last time around, right? We came down to here, found support off that trend, and they moved it back up. I would look for a very similar reaction today and see if they're going to push this market above this upper trend line for then what could be another potential fade of NQ. But I think the biggest and most important aspect of this entire week is to recognize that, the Jackson Hole Summit is happening. And you want to definitely make sure you have some good stops in and not be playing around with that. So when I'm looking at the profile of NQ, there's one thing I know for sure is 116 to 126 has been just an absolute disaster for buyers. Each and every time they push above this level, they really, really, really struggle to find a buyer. And there's only going to be change in this market to the upside if NQ can find a buyer up there. So that's what I'll be monitoring for today, how we respond above that level, 15116 to 15124. If they can find a buyer, great. I'm gonna let it go. Let the buyers take their win. But more importantly, I want to monitor up here and see if they're going to lack that buyer. And if that buyer is lacking, then I think the fade is probably and most certainly, probably the stronger play to the downside. Simply just targeting potentially the 10 wide point of control left from Friday. So that's where I'm at coming into the day. I think there's some good opportunity in ES on the three trades we talked about. And I think there's some good opportunity in NQ. R2Y maybe, depending on how drastic they get first thing in the morning. But we'll have to wait and see kind of where R2Y opens and, gets that first aggressive move that they seem to really like to do in A period and kind of play off of that. So that being said, I always appreciate you guys jumping on, appreciate the follows. And this is new subscribers. And I hope to get these out, each and every day this week as I finally get over this cold and can start talking a bit normal again. So, you know what? Trade well, trade safe. Make sure you trade within your plan and live with your results. And I will check you guys again tomorrow.